The Inn of the Two Witches, A Find, by Joseph Conrad. This tale, episode, experience, call it how you will, was related in the 50s of the last century by a man who by his own confession was 60 years old at the time. 60 is not a bad age, unless in perspective, when no doubt it is contemplated by the majority of us with mixed feelings. It is a calm age. The game is practically over by then, and standing aside one begins to remember with a certain vividness what a fine fellow one used to be. I have observed that by an amiable attention of Providence, most people at 60 begin to take a romantic view of themselves. Their very failures exhale a charm of peculiar potency. And indeed, the hopes of the future are a fine company to live with. Exquisite forms, fascinating if you like, but, so to speak, naked, stripped for a run. The robes of glamour are luckily the property of the immovable past, which without them would sit, a shivery sort of thing, under the gathering shadows. I suppose it was the romanticism of growing age which set our man to relate his experience for his own satisfaction, or for the wonder of his posterity. It could not have been for his glory, because the experience was simply that of an abominable fright. Terror, he calls it. You would have guessed that the relation alluded to in the very first lines was in writing. This writing constitutes the find declared in the subtitle. The title itself is my own contrivance, can't call it invention, and has the merit of veracity. We will be concerned with an inn here. As to the witches, that's merely a conventional expression, and we must take our man's word for it that it fits the case. The find was made in a box of books bought in London, in a street which no longer exists, from a second-hand bookseller in the last stage of decay. As to the books themselves, they were at least 20th hand, and on inspection turned out not worth the very small sum of money I disbursed. It might have been some premonition of that fact, which made me say, "But I must have the box too." The decayed bookseller assented by the careless, tragic gesture of a man already doomed to extinction. A litter of loose pages at the bottom of the box excited my curiosity but faintly. The close, neat, regular handwriting was not attractive at first sight, but in one place the statement that in A.D. 1813 the writer was 22 years old caught my eye. 22 is an interesting age, in which one is easily reckless.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?